All right, so this is a continuation of just how to use the calculator and whatnot. It's just a useful, I guess, reference page. So this just goes through step by step how to do it. I'm gonna skip this because I feel you guys can read it, and we're just gonna go down here to try it out. And we're gonna be asked to find three things in each of these problems. So I have my calculator right here. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to type in my equation, x squared. And then I am going to graph. Okay, so I like to graph first. I like to look to see where it should be. It looks like my vertex should be right there because it's the bottom of my U. Okay, so up here, okay, they asked me to change my window if needed, but it says choose minimum or maximum, and that's why I like to graph first. So when I graph first, I can tell that this is a minimum because it's the bottom of my graph. So I go up here, I'm going to click calc, okay, and I'm going to go down to 3, and that's my minimum. So now it says left bound, I'm going to pick a point to the left of that. It says right bound, I'm going to pick a point to the right of where I think it is. And then my guess, I'm going to guess in between there, and it's going to calculate it for me. So it says my vertex is 0, 0. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to type that in. Now it says x-intercept, and what is it at 3? So I'm going to write these as points. Okay, my x-intercept is where is my y value 0. So I'm going to go up to the table, and I'm looking for where is y 0. Oh, that is also at 0, 0. Now it says, what is the y value when x equals 3? So it says x equals 3, so I want to find my y value. So I scroll down here to where x is 3, and it says y is 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. So that's all it's asking me here is, can you use your calculator to find these pieces of information? Okay, so I'm just going to make all these text boxes real quick. And all right, so not all the answers are 0, 0. I just copied and pasted it. So let's go to B. B says 4x squared minus x. So 4x squared minus x plus 7. Yep. All right, so I'm going to come up here, graph it. Notice there's my vertex all the way up there. Again, it's a minimum because it's opening up. Little hint, if it opens up, it's a minimum. If it opens down, it's a maximum. So let's calculate that. Okay, let's go to number 3. Okay, left bound, I'm going to pick a point to the left. I'm going to pick a point to the right. Okay, I try to be as accurate as I can. I'm going to guess. And notice it gave me this. Okay, so I wouldn't write this exactly. I would say, all right, well, this is really close to 0, and that's really close to 7, but we can try this again. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, sometimes you're going to get decimals here, so let's pick, there's to the left, there's to the right, and let's say this is my guess. All right, so what I would do is I would write this as 0, or I would write this as a fraction, okay? And I would see what you can do with it. So I wrote in my notes 1/8 and 1/11 over 16. I would probably accept if you stated that you rounded it. I would probably accept that answer. So I would just write it as 0.125, and then I would write it as approximately 6.9375. So I'd go ahead and write that. All right, sometimes I try to write it as a fraction. I'm not going to do that with you guys. But yeah, I will typically round my answer, or I will write it as fractions. I don't like decimals too much. So let's look at the x-intercept. Now, you can tell a lot from the graph. If we look at the x-axis here, the x-intercept is where does my graph cross at? And Dylan, where does it cross it? Very good. It doesn't cross it. So I would just write none. And what is the value when x is -4? So I would say, there's -4, so it's -4 and 75. All right, now here, I'm going to go ahead and type in that one. It says -x squared. Okay, now because it says -x squared, I already know I'm going to have a maximum because it's going to be opening down because that's negative. So I'm going to write plus 2x. Whoop. Oh boy, what did I do? Oh no, something's going on. -x squared, there we go, back in business. Plus 2x plus 1. So there it is. Let's go ahead and hit graph. See, opening down, my maximum. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate it. All right, that points to the left. That looks great. Let's pick a point to the right. I try to make it so that the points I'm picking are symmetrical. There. And now my guess is going to be right about there. All right, so it gave me 0.999993 and 2. So I would go ahead and write this as 1 and 2. Okay. My x-intercepts, okay, these are going to be a little weird in the notes, okay? If I made a mistake or anything like that, let me know. I typically give extra credit to the first person that lets me know if I made a mistake or whatnot. So x-intercept, I gave it to you as a radical. You can give it to me as a decimal. So let's go ahead and use our calculator for that. So I'm going to be asked to find the zeros. So I'm going to go ahead and find the zeros here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. It's going to ask me to do the same thing, left bound. All right, let's deal with this one over here first. There you go. And right bound right there. And I'm going to guess it's right there. So I got this decimal. That comes out to 1 minus root 2 and 0. And then this one comes out to 1 plus root 2 over 0. But you do it the same way. Now, what is my value when x is 7? So I go ahead and go to the table. Let's go to 7. I believe it is -34. And there it is. Okay, so that's how you use your calculator. On the next page here, I just said to skip. These are extra practices. I didn't do it. You can use your calculator to do it very quickly. My suggestion is whenever you can, use your calculator at this point. It'll be very useful. All right, if you have any more questions about how to do calculator work for 8.4, just let me know, and I'll be glad to set up a Google Meet or Hangout or whatever they call it nowadays. All right, cool. Peace out.